Hello everyone. Anyone that's coming across this stream / video, my name is Mitchell Mander and welcome to my live stream / video. I cover the Pokemon Horizon series. I do these live discussions on a weekly basis, so if you're someone that's new to the channel, you should definitely sub the channel. I think you would enjoy it. Maybe. But it'd be pretty cool if you subbed to the channel, liked the video, watched a decent amount of the stream. Watch time really helps with the algorithm and all that good stuff. Also join the chat. I'd like to hear what you guys think about Pokemon Horizons in the most recent episode, being episode 31. Now I usually have these live streams on Saturdays. It looks like the subs have been coming out a little bit quicker than as of recent, so I might be moving these back to Fridays. We'll see. Depends on my availability, but Fridays or Saturdays are like the best days, or the days I expect these type of streams. But yeah. Anyways, as per usual, I usually give it a couple minutes, wait to see if anybody shows up. If not, I just start reviewing the episode. But today's agenda, we're going to be talking about, obviously, episode 31 of Pokemon Horizons. We're also going to be talking about the preview and what to expect for basically the rest of this year. Apparently the episode on the 15th is going to be one to look out for. As the calendar had a sparkly star next to it, so yeah. And then we'll also talk a little bit about the dub. I'm going to probably reserve that for the end of the stream, because I know we're probably going to be talking about that for a little while, because I have some things to say about that as well. But, yeah. And it looks like we have our first person here. Claudius, what's up? You prefer Saturdays? Alright. I'll keep that in mind. It's going to just depend on my schedule and what's coming up. For example, if I'm gone all day Saturday, maybe Friday, I'll do the stream kind of thing. But yeah. Looks like we got some people showing up now. So what's up, y'all? Go, if you can see the poll, go ahead and vote. If not, share your rating in the chat. I'll be discussing my thoughts on this episode shortly. We have 2 votes. We have 1 vote for 8-7 and then 1 vote for 9-10. This episode was very solid. I agree. 10 cause no Iono. Already back to work. Okay. Here's Fizzle Wizard giving his weekly 10 because Iono's not in the episode. Which means we can immediately discard that opinion. Lol. You gave it a 7 out of 10. That's exactly what I gave it too. So, off to a strong start here. This was more of a setup episode, I will say. It's kind of setting up the next couple, so I am definitely curious to see how things are going to go from here. The last episode that we have for 2023 is on the 22nd, so we have only 3 more episodes this year, so we'll probably be getting a summary soon for the remaining episodes for this year. Probably next week sometime. I'm liking the vibe too. I'm just curious as to where we are. It seems kind of like we're somewhere, but I'm not sure where. That cold open was great. Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised because I was watching. I'm like, are we watching Pokemon? It was kind of neat. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and start talking about Pokemon Horizons episode 31. Just to summarize, so there were some sailors that are sailing around the ocean. They got a little lost. They lost their cargo. And they end up getting guided to safety by a Lapras. that hangs out in the mist. Totally not from it. Totally not caused from itself. Totally not. My best guess is it's the ocean between Galar and Paldea. That would be actually, that would make sense since we have a Toadzacruel in the episode. That's how you pronounce it. Which I thought that was an interesting way to introduce that Pokemon into the series. Anywho, the Rising Volt Tacklers learn of this rumor. They go to seek out information. They actually talk to the sailors, which I thought was interesting. They got the info there, so they went out and checked it out for themselves, and they ended up running into Lapras. However, in the midst of all that going on, there was a couple Pokemon that got on board and were stealing some food. That being Toadzacruel and Ambipom. And then they jump off the ship, which they shouldn't have been able to do, so because they can't exactly swim. That's when Dot catches that something showed up on camera that took him away. Obviously, it was a Wailord. It was pretty obvious that it was a Wailord. And I like how Freed got the idea to go back around. He's like, you know what? I got an idea. This is what we're gonna do. And that's where they brought out all the food, their food and storage. And the Pokemon once again came on board when the mist kicked back on, because that was the trigger right there. Freed figured it out. And then, yeah. Freed has Captain Pikachu use its Rising Volt Tackle in order to clear the mist out, and that's when we see Lapras, and we see all the Pokemon. There's a bunch of them. They're on this Wailord. Probably Lapras is like helping them out. Probably they're just abandoned Pokemon or something, or they're just stranded or something. But this Lapras is huge. Then again, I mean, I guess it's not a huge surprise considering Oberlivia was a giant one as well. So I mean, I guess should we expect all the other ones to be also big as well? Guess so. But that's besides the point. That pretty much wraps this episode up, as we're going to the next one. We're going to be encountering Lapras, probably battling it maybe. Probably figuring out what the deal is with it protecting these Pokemon. Obviously, the ancient Pokeballs are resonating in the episode preview, so it obviously is Lucius's Pokemon. I mean, we knew it going into this. It would be, but I gotta say I like the design on Lapras. It looks like it has a scar in its eye, which I thought was pretty neat. This Lapras was in the Poke Wars, so it's got some scars from the Poke Wars. But all jokes aside, I thought this episode was a solid episode. It's definitely a setup episode. Most of the episode was setting up what was to come in the next probably 2 episodes. There's also the Terapagos little segment at the end where it's walk around the ship annoying Sprigatito. So just as I thought, it's like the Eevee segments from Sun and Moon for that little bit of time before Lana caught Eevee, where it's like, hey, where's Eevee going? What's Eevee doing? In this case, it's what's Terapagos doing today on the ship or whatever. So we'll get a little like 1 minute like thing of that apparently for next week and also the week after. But overall, this is a setup episode. It's a pretty solid one at that. I'd say it's a good 7 out of 10 episode. They're definitely building up to something. Obviously, when they put out the calendar the other day, or yesterday for the month, every time they put out the calendar, they always put a star next to when the episodes are coming out. And obviously, they come out on Fridays, but we know that the episodes are airing all the way at least until the 22nd, and then we're probably going on break for like 3 weeks. 2-3 weeks. Per usual, they do that every year. But the star on the 15th is shining. So, I believe that's probably going to be when we're going to see a Terapagos in its like actual like full powered form, whatever you want to call it. That's incidentally the day after Indigo Disc comes out, so they were probably timing that for that reason. So something to look forward to. Scars and eye, neck, and shell damage. Yep, I noticed that too. The eye one is the one that I caught the most, but I'll have to definitely take a look again. So the one thing I always find interesting is all the heroes are just like angry. They're just super angry and just they seem to just hate people. So it makes you wonder what happened in the past to make them like this, make them resent humanity. Or just like anything. Something the explorers did, something that we need to know about Lucius. I am curious. And then I think next is probably going to be Cleavor. So we'll probably find out why it's been like away for like 100 plus years or however long it's been gone for. So yeah. I love me an angry pirate Lapras. Yeah, it definitely stands out because Lapras usually are pretty gentle. They seem very friendly in the anime, so seeing one that's like pissed off is kind of interesting. My guess is something tragic happened to Lucius. That's gotta be it. Something must have happened, and maybe like the explorers betrayed him or something. Because we know that the explorers and Lucius used to be friends in the past. So obviously something happened, and they probably took advantage of it and took him out, and maybe I don't know, the heroes revolted or something. I don't know. Terapagos is at the center of it too, but Terapagos is a little innocent boy. He's very curious of the world around him. So, I guess we'll find out soon enough what happened. I think it's gonna be one of those things where like we speculate now, but like once we find out the reveal, we're gonna go back and look at these episodes in a different perspective. We're gonna go back and like, oh, it makes sense why this was happening, you know. Like this is why Galarian Moltres was going like nuts in the Galarian mines, or Lapras. It helps guide sailors, but like if it tries to do anything else, it'll attack or whatever. I love how everyone was working together. Yeah, I thought it was interesting that the old man had a little bit more focus in this episode. Actually, he's usually kind of just there for exposition, and that kind of seems like his purpose in the series, honestly. But he was there to confirm the Pokemon that got on board, so he was there kind of to give further context. That way they're like, oh, kids, you're just being silly. You're just seeing things. But then he's like, oh, no, I actually saw them, you know? It's also kind of interesting that Grandma's part of the Rising Volt Tacklers. I'm wondering how long that's going to last. Because she's been on the ship, what? It's been like 6 episodes or something like that. 6, 7, somewhere around that range. So I'm wondering how long she's staying. Is it going to be permanent, or is it going to be just until we get this hero, or is she just here forever? Who knows? Grandma's explanation prior to the show starting in episode 24, also had that feeling. Neat. So I am definitely looking forward to these upcoming episodes. Obviously, when it gets to like the main like plot and all that stuff, that's where it's the most exciting, obviously. So I'm expecting more people to kind of be interested in how this goes. I hope everything's executed well. That's all I'm gonna say. But it seems we've got a good setup so far. So I'm very intrigued to see how Lapras is gonna join the crew, or how Liko is gonna reach out to Lapras and the other Pokemon. Is she gonna help out the Pokemon in some way, shape, or form? It looks like they're gonna be going to see a Whalmer in the next episode. Maybe there's something wrong with it, and Liko ends up, reaching out to it and helping it out, and maybe that's what touches Lapras or something. It seems like that's gonna be the focus in the next episode. I mean, with what you said about things making sense, yeah. We'll be able to look back on it when we get to the end of Horizons, or this storyline at least. You'll go back and look, you'll be like, oh, this makes sense. This is why this was going on, kind of thing. This is why the legendary Pokemon, or the heroes, had this attitude towards Liko and the gang. I just gotta say, what's gonna happen on the 15th, or episode 33? They're highlighting this one. Besides Terapagos maybe fully going into its full power form, or whatever it is you want to call it, there's got to be something else that's going on. Are the explorers going to make an appearance? Is something else going to happen? I'm really curious to see. I'm really curious to see what's going on these next. Honestly, the rest of this year. 2024 is going to be very interesting for the series, because by that point we should only have 2 more heroes left, being Entei and Cleavor, before we get to Rayquaza again. I was going to say 2, but it's actually 3, but the other 2 besides Rayquaza. Which tells me we're going to Sinnoh and we're going to Johto, so. Just curious as to where other regions like Kalos, Unova, Alola fit into this whole thing. I suppose we'll find out in 2024. I think Grandma will stay until they return to Paldea, possibly. And then we'll probably see Luca again at some point. Maybe we see all 3 of them, since they're in the opening. Grandma, mother, daughter. One thing I do want, hopefully, for the series is, although Liko's getting a lot of good focus right now, and it's been pretty good for the last 10-ish episodes, the focus she's gotten. Roy I feel like he's gonna need something pretty soon, whether it's capturing another Pokemon or an evolution or something. I feel like Roy needs something significant soon. That way he's not left behind. Because it does feel like the story is kind of leaving him a little bit behind and focusing on Liko and Terapagos and stuff. So hopefully in 2024 we get some good moments with Roy, or good development or something. I'll probably elaborate on that when I get to the video that I'm still brainstorming on right now. I want to try and get it out before Indigo Disc comes out, but it might be something I hold off until the end of the year. Because I do want to make a video on what I want to see in 2024 from the series. I was kind of hoping that more people would be here, since it was a more plot-centric episode, but whatever. Wait, Liko's the main character. Quote unquote. Always has been. I kind of was... In the beginning, it kind of seemed like there was a clear, co-protagonist thing going on with them, and it seemed like Roy was actually outshining Liko for a little bit there, but it does feel like everything's kind of tied to Liko being the main character, but it is what it is, I suppose. I just hope that Roy doesn't fall too far behind. You disagree. I know that a general consensus is that a lot of people are a little bit unhappy that Roy kind of feels like his part in the story is kind of fallen off, but I don't think we're quite at that point. We're still pretty early into the series. I just kind of want some more development for him soon. Maybe strengthen his goal a little bit more or something. Ever since from the get-go, I knew Roy was added for obligatory reasons. Yeah, I suppose, but at least make him at least as prominent as Liko. But who knows? Who knows what they're cooking for 2024? Hopefully something good. But anyways, do you have any additional thoughts regarding these upcoming episodes? I like Liko being more prominent as the first female protagonist. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, it's just it kind of feels like Roy was kind of there just because he had the ancient Pokeball and is with him, so it could have been more significant, but his grandpa's like, oh yeah, I just found out on the beach one day or something. Liko is the one that's kind of, weaving the plot since she had the pendant and was obviously able to resonate with it, bring it out to Terrapagos. So I suppose it is what it is. But again, I will have a few thoughts going into my upcoming video on what I want to see from Horizons in 2024. Which I'll probably put that out before the end of the year. Probably after the last episode airs for the year. Okay, I think I'm gonna... The video I was planning on making, I might just convert into that. By the way, I love the shot of the wing deck transforming. Oh yeah! I always, honestly, I think it's kind of interesting. Obviously, the Bravasagi is actually, was originally a boat. So technically, although it flies, it can also be used for sailing the sea too. So I thought that was very, very interesting to see. Hey, Thriller. SNES version. I guess I'll take a second here to obviously give a little shout out since I have the music in the background. The music that you hear in the stream background is actually from another stream on YouTube, the Video Game Study Lounge by Game Chops. Pretty neat. Plays a lot of lo-fi or remix versions of video game OSTs and also sometimes popular songs. So I usually listen to it when I'm studying, working out, etc., or just relaxing at home. It's chill. As you can hear in the background, that's pretty chill music. So you should go check it out. The link's in the description. So there I go, putting that out there. So anyways, back to our regular programming. There was a cool shot of it folding in front of the camera and Frieda's in the center point of the frame. Looked cool. I'll have to rewatch it. I watched the episode last night. So I'll have to go back and revisit that. Okay. So I'm going to give it about 5-ish more minutes to talk about these episodes, and then we're going to move on to the controversial point of the stream. So if you got any further thoughts regarding the episode and the next couple, I'll go ahead and put it in the chat. Just going to check Twitter really quickly. I mean X. I mean, whatever you want to call it. Complete chaos. Chaos control. Oh, geez, I almost closed out the stream. That would have been a mistake. I'll ask again. We got 3 people here, but we only have 2 votes, so if you haven't voted, go ahead and do so. That is, if you're able to. Oh, hey, Kefka laughing. The day the anipoke community imploded. That's probably happened a couple of times. This is just, like, I don't know, I'd say, like, number, like, 67 or something at this point. I was going to say, how many times it implode when we were watching Journeys or even Sun and Moon, and even X and Y when Ash lost the Kalos League. I was going to say the entire community just like keeled over that day. I was going to say some people like turned their backs on the series and never came back after that, so it was an interesting time. Oh, we got another vote, though. Someone voted 6 or 5, so thank you for voting. If you want to go ahead and discuss your reasoning behind the vote. Excuse me. Sorry about that. If you want to discuss your reasoning behind the vote, go ahead and say so in the chat. While you do that, I'm going to drink this water. That being said, getting back on the subject, yeah, the anipoke community did implode, and honestly, I can't really blame them, so I guess we can go ahead and pivot over to the last part of the discussion for stream. We'll talk about it. Can't wait to discuss the dub. We're getting there. Sciism, welcome to the stream. It was I who voted 6. This episode is nothing special and it's set up for next week. So yeah. I mean, granted, it's a pretty solid setup. I mean, setup episodes serve their purpose. To me, I'll just say this, like when it comes to a setup episode, if the setup ends up being good, or like the episodes that follow end up being good, I think the episode itself becomes better as a result, so. Like, for example, if this ends up being a very satisfying capture, or not capture, but like, if this whole, like, Lapras getting the join, you know, Liko and the others ends up being successful and it's executed right, then this episode might go up to an 8 for me. It's set up, but I think the setup is better than Moltres setup. I agreed. I still have some issues with how that was executed. And those are just my personal thoughts, though. But so far, so good, I'd say. But to each their own, I suppose. Oh, hey, Persona. Can't wait for Ludlow setup next week. I wonder if he's getting his focus here. Because he got a little bit more focus into this episode. Ludlow Spotlight. Lou. I also just call him Lou. It's easier. What's What's old Lou fishing up today? He always says something that ends up being very useful for Liko and the others. Okay, this will be the last call for anyone wanting to talk about this episode and the next couple. If not, we're going to go into the dub discourse. Full on. Before I do that, I want to just make sure a few things. I got to get my date right for the release of Horizons on you know what. Give me 1 second. I can actually type and actually get where I need to go. Dang, Cerebi just updates so much. Give me 1 second, folks. I'll be right. There we go. Got it. Okay. I'm not seeing anything quite yet. So I guess it's time to move on to the dub discourse. Oh, where do I begin with this? Okay. So, as you saw Claudia's put in the chat earlier, the other day, we got the announcement for the release date for Pokemon Horizons dub in the West, or at least over here in the States. Oh boy. Well, there's a couple of things. So, the dub episodes... A couple of the dub episodes are already out and available out there. Yeah, and just like Claudia said in the chat, episodes 1 through 6 dubbed is out there. I believe it was released in the UK or something. And obviously there's been clips on Twitter and stuff that have been surfacing the last day or so. And yeah, let's just say, needless to say, the reception is extremely mixed. So... just to get to the point of the matter, yep, the UK's already got the first 6 episodes, but what do we in the States get? It's out on Netflix again, just like Journeys, and just like Journeys had its slow release schedule of releasing like 12 or 13 batch episodes, like every 3 or 4 months. Seems like it's going to be the same thing with Horizons, as the first 12 episodes, probably, 12 episodes I would assume, are coming out February. The exact date, I went and confirmed it, is February 23rd, 2024. So, a little, like, from like where we're at right now, that's about a little over 2.5 months away. So, when did Horizons first premiere in Japan? Oh, wait, that was April 14th. So, about a 10-month difference. What's up, Matt? Anyways, so a little over 10 months difference, so that's pretty atrocious. Considering the Sun and Moon or XY Sun and Moon dub was only like a couple months away at a certain point. This is a 10-month difference. That is crazy. That is quite a difference in time. Yeah, I just say at this point, just watch the sub. Like, I'm not waiting like 10 months to watch these episodes dubbed. No, sir. That's actually crazy. And yeah, I'm just it's not that I'm like shocked, it's just I'm just continuously disappointed by this news. And I just want to say really quickly that, like, just because you're voicing your criticisms and your, like, frustrations with the dub, it doesn't mean that you're harassing the staff or, like, bullying them. I've seen some people complain about that on social media. Just let it be known that, like, we're not sitting here because we're not trying to, like, harm the actual people behind the studios and stuff like that. That's not the intention. The intention is to voice our frustration and how this is being treated. I mean, I'd say that's more so on the companies rather than the actual people behind it. They don't really have much control or much say in how things work because, the businesses are the ones that the corporations are the ones that are kind of calling the shots, and that's kind of the problem. Just pointing it out there. I wonder why the change in music in the UK. It's pretty much how the dub has been for a while. I think there's like some kind of copyright thing. I think it's Sony. My knowledge on this is kind of minimal, but like I understand that there's some type of like issue. But at the same time, Pokemon is like what? The most profitable franchise on the planet. So you'd think they'd be able to afford to just bring it over. That's what you would think, but apparently it's more complicated than that, and yeah, I don't know. But yeah, the music has changed. I don't think the voice acting is bad in any way. I think it's fine. I heard both Liko and Roy's VAs. They sound fine. Damon Mills as Metheo sounds fine. He sounds like Lenny from Genshin Impact, so it's pretty much the same voice used, so I'm fine with it. We got Crispin Freeman as Freed, and we got Itachi there, so from Naruto, so I'm fine with that. The opening of UK is good. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. The dub opening for Horizons is not good, in my opinion. It's been a long. It feels like it's been a while since we've actually had a good dub opening, to be honest. The Journey Starts Today for Journeys was actually a pretty decent opening. Not gonna lie. The openings are always too short. They're only like 30 seconds. They're like a trimmed down version of the actual opening, and I've never really been a fan of it, except for maybe some of the early the original series Pokemon openings, obviously, for obvious reasons. I just think that I don't know. It's really complicated, but the bottom line is the openings are just not good, or not really that interesting. Like I can't wait for the opening 2 to be ruined. The amazing opening that we have right now. The dub's not going to do that justice. I'm sorry. Try that in 30 seconds. Try stuffing that in 30 seconds. It's going to be a mess. But I'm just disappointed. The music choices too. It just astounds me. Because I'm pretty sure you saw the tweet about the Fuecoco Roy scene in episode 5. I want to say, where he's encouraging Fuecoco to battle, and he ends up learning Ember. A great moment in the sub, but in the dub, the voice acting's not the problem. It's the music choice. It does not have the same feel as the original, and it just lacks as a result. It just bums me out that this is what dub watchers are getting. And people always, come to me. They're like, you should probably be, pushing the dub, since the sub is not exactly legal, I guess, so to say. But at this point, it's like they don't provide the sub. They don't provide the sub. They have the ability to do it, but they won't do it. So it's at this point, it's we have no choice but to, watch it illegally. So they've not given us much of a choice. So, which sucks, because I would love to watch this on not just Netflix or whatever. But imagine if this was on Crunchyroll and you could watch the subs. Obviously, I don't expect a simulcast dub. It'd probably be Boruto or something like that, where it's behind by a little while or something. But I don't know. I just feel it's 2023. It's almost 2024, and it's still being handled this way. Come on, bro. Yeah. I have no thoughts. Okay, I'm gonna catch up a little bit. Everything except the voice performance is bad. Yep. Agreed. I have no thoughts on the opening. It's too short. Yep. Not that great, but not bad. I'm not ready for UK opening 2. Honestly, the VA work feels like it was the only place where any real effort was put in. The only thing I didn't like was some dialogue changes, like Roy saying he wants to be like the old trainers or something like that, which I thought was a little weird. There's some other like inconsistencies, but like I don't really blame the VAs for that. They're doing their job, and they're doing a good job at that. Man, a lot of people even wait for the dub to watch Horizon stick. Yeah. Exactly. At this point, it's just like I can't. That's why I say I cannot recommend the dub, and I want to, but I just can't. What's up, Matt?
I had some steak and breakfast.
Gotcha. That is a scripting issue. Yeah, that is true. But guess what? What? Tell us. Just waiting for a second. I'm just reading right now. There's this online user who is currently redubbing Horizons with the original soundtrack. Really? Goes by Shirt on Twitter. Let me look this up. Shirt. I feel like that's going to be too broad if I just put this in the Twitter. And I'm just going to get a bunch of shirts. Let me try shirt. Pokemon. And don't just give me Pokemon shirts, please. Aha, I think I found them. Presenting a preview of the Pokemon Horizons uncut dub dependent. Ooh. Is he the one that actually posted the dub opening? I think he did. I'm just looking right now. The whole episode dub with the original soundtrack. That is great. That's what we wanted. It's like that SpongeBob meme. This is what we've been waiting for. At this point, I think that meme would work if they actually like put subs out and actually did it for real. It still gets me that they like go all the way to actually like subtitle these previews for the series, and then they just don't do the actual subs. If only. And then they end up spoiling people too as a result. Whoa, what's going on with Lico's pendant? Something came out of it. Dub Watcher. So thanks for spoiling this. or like literally like a minute or two after like Ash wins the PWC. Congratulations, Ash, you won, you're the champion. Everybody in the comments is just like complaining about how they just got spoiled. Oh, good times. Good times. Although the only way to watch their content is by joining the Discord, but that's no issue since it also gives you access to his uncut dub. He did the same for Sun and Moon X and Y Journey. Oh. It's on Discord. I'm interested. Do you have a link to the Discord, maybe? Because I might join that. Or is it private? And speaking of Discord, mine is updating. You know, I need to start actually looking at some other Discords too, besides my own. I'm in a bunch of Pokemon Go ones I don't really use anymore. His Twitter has a link. Let me check that out. Is this it? I'm looking at it right now. Oh, Lumious Trainer Zach is in it. I'm actually noticing a few people that are in here. I might join this one. Sorry if I'm being really quiet, I'm just kind of looking right now. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably join at some point. Probably give him a join after the stream ends. Okay. Anyways, I am back. So, I think I've gotten pretty much everything I wanted to say off my chest regarding the treatment of the dub and like all the shenanigans that went on the other day. It was a great day to be had, but not a great day if you're a dub fan. So, hold on. Okay. We're about 50 minutes into the stream now. Is there anything you guys want to chat about? We could still talk about the dub discourse if you want to, or just anything. Oh, I found out another VA. Do tell. Oh, hey, look, I'm gonna be hanging out with Jeff later. Three other notable VAs. Like, I know certain ones. I know who's voicing Liko, Roy, Ann, Dot, Freed, Amethio. I am very curious. Who else has been announced? I am curious. I'm starting to get hungry here. Trying to think who else could be voicing some of the characters. You got three other notable VAs. Do we know who's voicing like Molly or Orla? Or Murdoch? Matt Mercer, Erica Mendez, and David K. Matt Mercer. Who would he voice? Is he Murdoch? Or no? I don't think he'd be Murdoch. Who would... Erica Mendez would actually be good for Molly, I'd say. Matt Mercer. Who could Matt Mercer be as... Could Matt Mercer be Spinout? And I know who they voiced. He. Oh, making me figure this out. Dave? Murdoch? Maybe? Trying to think who else. I'm going back and thinking throughout the series. We have the first 6 episodes dubbed, so it would have to be in the first 6 episodes. So Spinell can't be a candidate. Who else could it be? Don't tell me Matt Mercer is Zerk. And don't tell me Erica Mendez is like Coney or Oni or whatever they call her in the dubbed. Any hints? Can I phone a friend? Matt Espino? Oh, I guessed that right. I guessed it right the first time, I suppose. Because that was my first guess. Is like, I feel like he'd be a good fit. Matt Mercer, a.k.a. Spinel, a.k.a. Ganondorf, a.k.a. Vincent Valentine, a.k.a. Hit from Dragon Ball Super, a.k.a. like a bunch of other characters. I'm going to say Erica Mendez is either Molly or Orla. I'd be leaning on Molly, though. Spinel shown in episode 6. Oh, shoot, you're right. He shows up at the end. It's been a minute since I watched episode 6. Because then it led into the Paldea stuff. Okay, that makes sense. That would make sense why he was there. I'm not familiar with David K, though. As familiar compared to the other two. I got it right, didn't I? I said Erica was Molly. That's why I said, I'm like, I feel like they'd be a good fit for Molly. David would either be Murdoch or Zerk would be my two guesses. So at least I got 2 out of the 3 right, I guess. Unless David is voicing someone I haven't guessed yet. I was gonna say, did the butler dude show up in episode 6? I think, maybe. And maybe Gibeon? Or at least his voice or something. I don't know, I'm kind of just thinking at this point. The more she speaks, the more I hear Ryuko, and I love it. I guess if I'm gonna watch a little bit of the dub, I might just watch it for the VAs at this point, just to see how their performance is in the series. So that actually sounds promising. Okay. So I guess I give up who's David voicing. David K is known for Clank from Ratchet and Clank as well as Megatron. Oh! That's where he's from. Okay. I got it. I got it. So maybe Murdoch or Zerk? Those are my only two guesses at this point. Oh my gosh, he's the main antagonist. Okay. Well, at least I got 2 out of the 3 right. Okay. Well, I'm curious to see who's voicing the other characters. I guess they'll be officially revealed soon enough. I wonder if they're waiting for Netflix to for it to come on Netflix. You see my boy Clank in Pokemon? And interesting indeed. I think it's really cool that Matt Mercer is in the series. That's really cool. Matt Mercer is one of my favorite English VAs. He's up there. Currently working on finished. Ripped apart. Nice, nice. Oh, sorry about that. I just accidentally smacked the microphone. I don't know if you heard that. Give me 1 second. Isn't Ripped Apart the newest one? I think so. Yeah. Nice. That's cool. Whew. Okay, guys. A little bit of a small turnout again, but that's okay. We had a good time here. Or we've had a good time, I should say. We've got 3 people watching. You want to go ahead and vote. If you haven't voted, go ahead and do so. Is there anything you guys still want to chit-chat about? Because I think we'll probably go on just a little bit longer, and then I think I'm going to be getting my lunch here because I am starving. So go ahead and give me some thoughts. If not, I think we'll probably be calling it a day. Also, keep in mind Murdoch is not white. Gotcha. See, I guess, again, I'm not familiar with David K., so I don't know. I would have to kind of do a little bit more digging into that. Give me 1 second here. Oh, there he is. I found him online. So, okay. I got it. He was Raccoon in the ocean dub of Dragon Ball Z. Interesting. The more you know, I suppose. Alrighty, is there anything else? Can't wait for more dubs spin-o. I'm honestly, if there's one silver lining here, I think it's the voice acting is actually pretty interesting for the dub. I'm very curious about Matt Mercer, so I'll be looking into his performance as Spino whenever I get a chance here. His performance is my favorite. That sounds about right with Matt Mercer. He tends to steal the show. Anywho, I think I'm gonna wrap things up here. We got 3 votes. It's a 3-way tie between 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. How about we just give the episode a 7? Sound good? I'd say the episode's a good 7. It evens itself out. So, we'll do that. Alrighty. Also, Gideon's voice is so deep. I love it. I'll check it out. I'll probably watch the episodes here soon. I haven't had a chance to actually sit down and watch the dub. Not that I sit down and actually do that, since I'm not the biggest dub person, but Matt Mercer being in the series actually kind of intrigues me a little bit more. So I think I'll check it out. Anywho, I think I'm gonna call this good for the day. Call it a day. I don't know where I was going with that, but can't wait to eventually hear the other explorers later. Yeah, I'm curious to see who's gonna be voicing them, since we do have some admins that show up. We'll probably learn it once the episodes drop in February, because I think it goes up to 12. I think that's when. No, actually, no. That was episode 16. I think they showed up. I'm wrong. We'll eventually hear them. Sometime in 2024, at least. Anywho, I'm going to bring this stream to an end. So, Clawless, thank you again for joining. It's a pleasure. Always have a fruitful conversation with you. So, I'm going to go ahead and call it a day here. So, anyways, everyone, this episode is a solid 7 out of 10. Hopefully, things get better for the dub, since there's some mixed feelings on how it's being handled, so hopefully that changes. But, yeah, that'll be it for this stream. I guess we'll see what happens. Anyways, have a good day or night wherever you're at, and I will see you all later. Bye.